Hi, I'm Tor from TC Electronic, and I'm here to show you the brand new MojoMojo Overdrive. We designed the MojoMojo Overdrive to be as amp-like as possible, so the sounds you will get from the MojoMojo Overdrive is kind of the same that you'd get if you have a tube amp that you crank hard and very loud. Only with the MojoMojo Overdrive you can get it at any volume you like. Some of the characteristics about tube amps is the fact that they clean up very well when you back off the volume on your guitar, and the MojoMojo Overdrive does the same thing. So basically you can get a wealth of different tones just by riding your volume knob on your guitar. Another thing that's very classic for tube amps is the fact that if you pick hard, you'll get more grit or drive or dirt or hair, whatever you want to call it, on your guitar sound. And when you pick lightly, it cleans up too, and MojoMojo Overdrive is excellent at doing that too. One of the things that we focused heavily on when designing MojoMojo Overdrive was to retain the low end part of your signal. So a lot of times when you step on an overdrive pedal, your bass basically goes away. But if you ever try to use a real tube amp for overdrive or distortion, you get lots and lots of low end, and we really want to give you the same feeling and the same sound when stepping on MojoMojo Overdrive. MojoMojo Overdrive features 4 knobs: a drive knob that lets you control the amount of overdrive, a level knob used for either matching the clean sound with the overdriven sound or for a level boost for solos and stuff like that. And last but not least, we have 2 filter knobs, a bass knob and a treble knob. And having 2 separate knobs for that is great, because sometimes you want to back off the treble a little bit for some nice smooth leads, but you still want to retain the bass. Or sometimes you use a lot of distortion and you want to back off the bass a little bit to prevent the sound from getting woolly, but still retain the high-end frequencies. So having those 2 knobs separate is a great feature. The pedal also features a toggle switch for voicing, and the voice basically selects between 2 bass response modes. In the top position, the pedal retains all the bass frequencies from your original signal, giving it a very full amp-like sound. In the bottom position, you get a little less low-end frequencies, and that's great for guitars that are already very bassy and full sounding. So it allows you to back off the bass a little bit. It's also important to mention that the filter controls are active, and that means that you can actually both increase and decrease the amount of bass. So at the center position, there's a detent, and that'll give you an absolutely neutral sound. But from there, you can actually both attenuate and boost the treble or bass. On top of that, the pedal features true bypass, and it runs off a 9-volt battery or a regular 9-volt DC supply. So enough talking already. Let's get this baby fired up and see how it sounds. So here is my clean sound without the pedal engaged, and just a little bit of delay added, courtesy of the flashback delay. And here's the pedal with everything at 12 o'clock. So again, with everything at 12 o'clock, I'm going to try to ride the volume knob on my guitar to give you an idea of how well the pedal cleans up. So basically, riding the volume knob of my guitar, I have from totally clean to crunch at my fingertips. MojoMojo Overdrive is totally uncompressed and a very open sound, so I can get a lot of different nuances just by picking differently. So from lightly to heavy, you get different sounds. In this example, I backed off the overdrive a little bit, and this type of sound is great for crunchy rhythm playing. MojoMojo Overdrive has an extremely wide gain range, so you can use it for pretty crunchy stuff as well. So let's try it with the drive knob at 3 o'clock. One of the things that we worked really hard on MojoMojo Overdrive was to make it as transparent as possible. So it shouldn't color your basic sound like some overdrives do. It's basically just adding gain and overdrive to the core sound that you already have. So let's try to toggle between the clean sound and the overdrive sound to see how the pedal affects the overall tone. As you can hopefully tell from the clip, the pedal doesn't really change the overall tone of the guitar. It just adds this great raw, crunchy grit to the overall character to the sound. Let's hear how the filler controls affect the sound. We worked really hard on making the entire range of both the bass and the treble knobs useful. Some pedals have a tendency to only have a tiny little bit of the filter section really useful. The rest is like too piercing or too woofy. But with MojoMojo Overdrive, you can actually use the entire range of the pod and get something useful. So let's check it out. Because of the way MojoMojo Overdrive is designed, it really changes character and it really brings out the best characters of whatever guitar you use. So in this case I've been using a Telecaster so far, but let's try to hear how it sounds with a Strat and a humbucker equipped guitar too. So again with the Strat, you'll be able to hear that I can change from a almost totally clean sound to a lead sound very quickly just by using the volume knob. Another classic way of using an overdrive pedal is to push an already crunchy amp into the next gear. So here's my dry sound without the pedal. And with MojoMojo Overdrive. So in these next examples, I'm going to use a super strat, mainly to give you an idea how it sounds with some pretty high output humbuckers. So here's my clean sound. So still using a totally clean sound on the amp. Here's the pedal with the overdrive cranked. Using a humbucker guitar, and especially on the neck position, it might be a good idea to back off the bass a little bit because it's tend to get a little woolly. So let's hear it with the amount of bass you heard before. Using the toggle switch, I can set it in the second voice mode and get a little less bass response. When designing dark matter distortion and MojoMojo Overdrive, we made sure that the two pedals complement each other beautifully. So on top of sounding great one by one, they also stack together perfectly. So with those two pedals, you basically have a clean sound with the pedals off, an overdriven kind of crunchy sound with the MojoMojo Overdrive alone, then a more rock-like rhythm sound with the dark matter distortion alone, and then when the two combined, you have a great lead sound. So let's check that out. First, here's my clean sound. And now with MojoMojo Overdrive. And now dark matter distortion alone. As you can hear from the two examples, using MojoMojo Overdrive or dark matter distortion alone, I can still use the volume knob to get a wide range of in-between sounds. So last but not least, let's hear how the pedals stack together. So that's the MojoMojo Overdrive. On top of all the great sound that you heard and the very amp-like tones you can get from this pedal, it also features two bypass and a very easy to get to battery compartment. I just unscrew the one screw here on the back and remove the lid, and then I have quick and easy access to the battery. So make sure you check out MojoMojo at your local dealer.